When I look at our planet and realize that this is the only place that we will ever call home, I can't help but think about the crossroads that civilization now finds itself in. From this perspective, the world seems so peaceful. As we look closer, our world is changing. For me, I think for most people, the real question is, how long is man going to survive on this beautiful planet? For the last 18 months, I've traveled around the world with a film crew in search of the truth about our changing climate and the future of mankind. What I've learned, is whether you believe man is causing the climate to change, or we just happen to be in another natural climate cycle, the fact remains, our climate is changing and it's affecting millions and millions of people in ways that we've never thought possible.
When you get scarce resources, or if you get a change so radical that people can't function, you have huge displacement.
Climate change is on a complete collision course right now with civilization as we know it.
For people who think that climate change isn't to do with them, if they think that, you know, so what if the sea level rises a little bit? I live half the way up the mountain, or I live in the middle of a huge landmass and it's just not going to touch me. Well, they need to ask themselves, do they need to eat food? They need to ask themselves, do they need to drink clean water?
A Pentagon group, after they retired, referred to climate change as a threat multiplier. What it does is it goes on and presses areas already stressed over the brink to a tipping point of social unrest.
All these reasons are going to create pressures that likely lead to more people moving around the globe unpredictably as those crunches interact.
But the problem is there are 6.5 billion people in the world today, and there are not a lot of places to migrate to, and not many places that welcome migrants, and that's what's new and different.
I think if some of the predictions are true, about 50 million people, or God help us, 100 million people coming to the United States from different countries because of climate change, there will be great civil unrest. There'll be shortages of food. There'll be shortages of water. There will be climate wars if that amount of people come here.
I worry about the young men and women of America just in the next decade or two who are increasingly going to be called on to wear the uniform of their nation and to represent us in climate conflicts, in climate wars, as they grow and develop around the world.
About 4 years ago, maybe 5, we were asked by the Pentagon to undertake a study of climate change's national security impacts. This was the first time that they had thought about that.
Well, look, when the Pentagon begins to think about what might happen as a result of issues that have historically been understood to be domestic, like environmental regulation, that's a clear indication that we have to start taking something seriously.
Where you live, in a big country or a small island, we are the same. Human race, no difference. If they suffer, we are suffer too. No difference. Man made by God the same. But the principle, love one another, that's the principle. Whatever different in color, different in language, different in custom, but we are one. Love one another. Tell the leaders of the world to think about us. It's because we are human. We have to survive.